Now, to here, to eat, and where to know. Surrounded by a halo of light. This is an aura of light. Halo of light. Inside of that. Hello, chị Jenny Hà.
Yeah. Hello, teacher. Hello, Mr.
Reception, I'm going to turn this around and start sideways. Ideation. Ideation. The more time we draw this human construct, the more we will understand it as something that is part of us. From the cognition, COGNITION. So it's a nice little circle connected together. Outside of that is a circle of resources. I'm intentionally drawing this, writing it a little bit bigger and more spacious so that you can see it more clearly. In the past, I've drawn it very small. It's hard to see. Appearances, okay. This is identity. This is our interest in food, and we want comfort. Okay. English word is long, so connected by one dash is enough. Okay. We have desire. Anger. Ignorance. And pride. Skepticism. Skepticism. We have ethic. Let's use this side, ethic. Judgment. Okay. All of that connected together. Should use a dot instead of a dash. Next time I'll use a dot. All of that is connected, is wrapped up in a shell of positive and negative polarity. So I'm going to start with the blue standing for negative polarity. And it doesn't have to be a perfect positive negative polarity because it fluctuates all the time anyway, being unstable and all. The perfect circle is our mind is never perfectly stable. Okay, right outside of that is we have 84,000 bubbles Okay. Illusion. Okay, we'll write the other word. It is emotion. Represented by bubbles. Some bubbles small, some bubbles are big. Okay. Our feeling, representing our feelings and emotion. Okay. And right outside of the bubbles of illusion, we have the four element body. Okay, represent in purple, because in some culture, purple represent royalty, and we should think of our body as something that is royalty. Bodies of kings and queens we all possess, okay, which is earth, air, forgot this water, okay, and fire. And all of that is also wrapped up in a shell of positive and negative and positive polarity. Energy polarity, energy, energy, energy. Our emotions, sometimes we go positive and sometimes we go negative. Okay. All of that is called the human construct. Okay. And last week we talked about the different spiritual and ethical energy. Okay, so we have 3 blocks. We have wrapped up inside the shell, we have 3 blocks of ethical, spiritual energy. Okay. You can call them, you can consider, some people call them virtue. And what are they? They are um, 1, 2, 3. We have the 3 fortune account, so to speak. Okay, the 3 energy can be thought of as good fortune, bad fortune, and ethics. Okay, so we can call it good fortune, bad fortune, and this one is intellectual merit. Okay, so last week we talked about the idea of good fortune, bad fortune, and intellectual merit. Good fortune being the kind of energy that we deposit into our inner being, into our ego, our personality, this layer, not in our true self. Okay. Our true self, our inner being, is the will to hear, to see, to know, to speak. That's high balance. Good fortune is a kind of energy that we collect when we do good thing for other people. We cause other people to become positive. It makes other people happy. Okay. Bad fortune is the kind of energy that we collect when we cause other people to go negative. And so we understand that when we have, when we have more positive, when we have more positivity, more positive energy, we tend to attract a life that is desirable. Whereas if we collect a lot of negativity, we cause other people's pain and suffering, we also attract a lot of undesirable circumstances in life. Right? Positivity is desirable, negativity is undesirable. Right? That is all part of the human construct. Does anybody have any question, or you want to share anything about what you've learned last week, or if any experience during the last whole week that you want to share with other people?
Uh-oh. Let me see. Right. Hi, everybody. Sorry, coming late.
Last week we also mentioned the 4 matches. Just rewrite it here. Okay, so there are 4. So we compare good fortune, the stuff that we have accumulated as a result of helping other people become happier. We compare good fortune as being a mountain of paper money. A mountain of paper money is easy to accumulate, but it is also easy to burn off, okay, to destroy it. We can easily lose our good fortune. And one easy way to destroy our good fortune is to light 4 matches. 4 matches that burns our fortune. Yeah, 4 matches that burn good fortune. Okay, so we mentioned blame. Okay, we talked about arrogance. This is just review. We talked about anger. And we talked about number 4, which is adultery. Okay. And what you want to do is to replace blame with gratitude. Okay. We replace arrogance with humility. We replace anger with magnanimity. And we replace adultery with morality. And morality, this is cultural specific morality. Okay, not all culture will define adultery the same way. So you have to be cognizant or be aware of your own culture's acceptance in terms of adultery and morality. And of course, we have the idea of what's the thing that will not burn our mountain of money, but our mountain of gold. Okay, a mountain of gold is it has to do with our intellectual merit. Okay, so obstinance closes up our wisdom and understanding. So
Em chào anh Frank.
hello. Thank you for joining us. So we replace obstinance with open-mindedness. Okay? And then mind. Okay, Okay, open-mindedness. That's the point. That's okay. We're not space open-minded. Okay. So our intellectual merit account is easy to be covered up. It is a mountain of gold. It won't burn away but easily, but it will be easy to be tarnished. It's easy to be covered up by obstinance, okay, by lack of willing to learn. Welcome back, Ron and Hua. You enjoy your trip? Are you back in the States? Are you still in
Yes,
Vietnam?
we're still in Vietnam. Thank you.
Oh, still in
Hello,
Vietnam. Okay.
Frank and everyone.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
noisy here. We will mute.
okay, that's fine. I wondering,
Thank
you
you.
know, before we get started, I was just curious. I want to get all of you guys input. So as part of my the Mentor Master 4 curriculum, I will be doing a 24-hour sharing, straight 24 hours. Okay, I will be sharing the 3 prime references, reference system. We'll talk about the root cause for the formula for the root cause of life. We'll talk about the human construct, and then I will talk about the 3rd reference system called the triangle of reality. And I'm thinking of maybe doing it this weekend. And I want to get your input. Would you be interested in attending that 24 hours? My goal, let me share, let me share with you the flyer that my wife made for me. It's a really cool flyer. But 24 hours, let me ask your input. What would be a good time that you think you would be able to attend? Obviously, if you can be there with me 24 hours, that would be amazing. But if not all 24 hours, then what are the hours that will be good for you this weekend? Which days would you think would you be interested in spending a lot of time in the Zoom? All right, not just today, just like, you know, our Wednesday night and Thursday morning, it's only a few hours, but we're going to do it 24 hours. And the goal is to cause the participant some real lasting transformation. Right? We learn and we learn and we learn, but our transformation is small, but oftentimes short-living if the amount of time that we commit is only 3 hours a week. That is why the Vietnamese course is 21 days every day for 21 days. It's that continuation, it's that regularity that will cause our person, our being, our mind to experience a permanent shift so that we can experience new reality, better health, better real happiness. So let me ask you, this weekend, would anybody be interested in attending my sharing if I were to do it 24 hours?
Right, so you're going to be awake
I tend to be awake 24 hours.
4 hours?
We may take a, you know what, if we talk and we get tired and we're going to take a break, okay? We take a break, use the bathroom or whatnot, take a nap. But the idea is to spend as much time as possible in 24 hours. What do
And
you
then, yeah, and doing that as a part of your master.
That is that is one of the graduating requirement for the masters.
Wow.
And obviously I would like, you know, people to attend, otherwise I will be speaking to nobody.
Right, but then you're gonna speak. You want to do it in English? Or?
I'm thinking of doing it in English. At first I was thinking of doing Vietnamese, but there are 10,000 Vietnamese mentors already, you know, and it is an opportunity to practice English, to practice listening, and as well as to practice speaking. So I think I'll be doing it in English.
So
So
you
Mhm.
so you want to go over the 3 references?
Pretty much I'll go from the beginning up till today and everything.
So you're going to go over the
It'll be a review. Yeah, it'll be a review plus It'll be a review plus the material, including the triangle of reality.
Mm. To be honest, I didn't attend all the course. I didn't finish the course, so I just
Yeah, so it'll be a good opportunity
yeah,
for
I
you
only
to experience it.
yeah,
And
I only listened to like maybe the first 14, 15 days.
yeah.
I give up. I cannot get up that early anymore.
So that's why, yeah. So you're gonna experience a something very powerful if you are willing to dedicate that much time. The idea is
But you're not going to record it, right?
I'm good. No, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I can record 24 hours on Zoom. Zoom only give me 5 GB, and I don't know if I can. Every week after I do this, I have to delete the previous one in order
Right.
to do that. I can't even download this each week.
Right. So I guess yeah, as long as you don't record it, yeah, because like I said, I didn't attend all the classes, so some of the material is like brand new to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then if you can do both in English and Vietnamese, that could be helpful because I mean
I can do. You can always ask me. You can always ask me any words that you don't understand. Even in this Zoom, if there are words that you don't understand, I can explain
oh,
it to
I
you.
see.
Right?
Maybe the first hour I will actually review, tell you what I know, and then you fill in what I don't know, and then when I say, oh, that's it, that's all I know, and then
I'm probably gonna start from the very beginning.
Mhm.
We'll go over the barriers, the 6 barriers that prevent us from growing as an individual, as a human being. We'll go to the principles and then natural laws. We'll talk about the principle of light. Those are good review. But what I'm really aiming at is for each of us to write down 5 things that we want to actually have in life that we have not achieved yet, whether it is in terms of our mental health, whether it's in terms of our financial health, whether it's in terms of our relationship or our physical health. I want each of you to write down 5 things that you want to realize, to make a reality, and then bring it into the 24-hour sharing. And then in that 24-hour, you will come out having a new reality. That's the idea.
Yeah, I off this Saturday. Usually I work Saturday, but this Saturday I'm off, so we can start. I don't know what time is a good time. You know,
Well,
for
if we start in the US Pacific Coast 6 a.m., that means the people in Vietnam can still attend it at 9 p.m. I'm talking about, otherwise if we, right, you want to start at 6 a.m.?
sure. I'll try on my day off.
Okay, and if you can invite some friends, bring some people, because the goal is to cause somebody a transformation right here and right during the
Up my sleeping time to deposit a lot of positivity,
activity, yes.
yeah, into my account.
Into your account. There you go.
Yes.
Let me
Okay.
share the flyer. I'm gonna upload the flyer real
Okay.
quick.
So yeah, I'll see you 6 o'clock this Saturday. That
Yeah.
would be Saturday evening for those in Vietnam.
That'll be 9 p.m. in Vietnam. Okay.
Mhm.
What about those of you other, chị Hà, Lâm?
Myself, 'cause I'm gonna eat.
Are you interested in joining the Zoom at 9 p.m. on Saturday? And we're gonna go all the way to 9 p.m. of Sunday. If you can't make it the entire time, that's
Hi,
fine.
Frank.
Yeah.
It's Ron here. I can come in at 4 o'clock in the morning,
Vietnam time.
Vietnam time.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so you'll be
Yeah.
about a couple of hours late. That's fine. Okay, so set your alarm We're going to start at 9 p.m. Vietnam time, and then we will end
Yep.
at 9 p.m. on Vietnam time on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let me share with you the flyer that my wife has made. I am fortunate. I have the good fortune of being married to a graphic designer.
Yeah.
So let me share. Let me open
To
the.
the point.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, we're in a bad spot. It's kind of loud here, but
No, okay, okay,
I will be there for Saturday morning.
okay. Let me
Sounds-
share the this one. Okay.
Yep.
Can you see this flyer?
Sounds good. I
This is
will.
Vietnamese. Yeah,
see
this
you
one
then.
is Vietnamese. It says understanding the 3 prime reference system. Create the life that you want.
Yeah.
It says bring 5 desires into the Zoom in order to turn it into 5 realities. Okay, this is one 24-hour course. One journey I will be sharing, you guys will be sharing, you'll be talking back and forth, we'll be exchanging back and forth. And I'm hoping that the more interaction that we do, the more transformation that we will experience. There's a line that says 31 time transform forever. 1 person study, not just for yourself, but for your entire family and for all your progenitor. Okay, so we may not be, how do you say it? We may not be aristocrats and nobles and wealthy, super wealthy people, but we could be the ancestors of aristocrats and noble people and super wealthy people. Okay, I will ask my wife to make an English version of the flyer. That kind of cool. Look at this. You can see the flyer, right, everybody?
Yeah.
It shows this is a picture of coal. You know, coal, that wood has been burned. It turned black.
To
You-
diamond, yeah.
Yeah, right. When coal is put under a lot of pressure, it turns into a diamond. So what we're doing is we're taking a 21-day course and we're compressing it down to a 24-hour, and in the end, we hope to come out being a bunch of diamonds. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, so let's go back to today's topic. Anybody want to have any question or sharing about the last week before we move on to new materials? Okay, adjust the camera a little bit. Okay, so that was last week. So this whole thing, if you take a moment, kind of think about it, everything we're trying to do was trying to raise the energy level of a human being. Right? It's because of a law that if you have positivity, you will attract desirable circumstances in life. If we have good seed, we will bear good fruit. If you remember the formula for the root cause of life, yeah, Marianne, go ahead. Did you say something? Want to say something?
So last week you talking about the good, the evil,
Yeah.
and the merit.
Mm-hmm.
And so you mentioned something about if I intentionally cause pain or suffering to other people, I deposit negativity into my account. And I was arguing like, okay, yeah, so if I come back and apologize, would it cancel out? You said no.
It will not cancel out until that person absolve you of that act.
Right. So until that person, like forgive me,
Forgive you completely. Yeah, we'll learn about forgiveness in a couple upcoming session. There's the power to forgiveness. Yeah.
So I was saying, man, that's why I have to be nice all the time, 24 hours, 24/7. I have to be nice, to deposit more possibility into my account. And that's hard to do because it depends on my mood, and women are very moody. So I mean, yeah, we'll practice with time, but I kind of like don't accept that concept though, because
That's good. Yeah, because it's very tiring. In a way, it's very tiring. Trying to be positive all the time can be very tiring. It
Right.
takes energy to be positive all the time. And human being, we can't do it. We can't stay positive all the time. That is why we have another one. Is why we have a solution that is better than trying to be positive all the time. Do you remember the 3 circles? I'll draw it again. Okay, that is why we talk about the other one.
Oh, you mean like when there's information coming?
Exactly.
So you let it go directly into the wheel?
Well, yeah, exactly. Your true being. Okay, so you have this will. Okay, around it is the will to hear, A-R-T, speak, and to know. Okay. This is called your inner being or your true self, our true self. Okay, we're always here, we are always already seeing, we are always already speaking and knowing. If we, outside of that, we have this shell called the ego or the personality. Okay, so this is our, or the mind. Ego, mind, a lot of thinking, right? And outside of that, we have emotion. Already, you get the sense that it takes a lot of energy to deal with things when it goes through our ego and our mind and our emotion. So this is like information, okay? Information, it comes in. If we deal with things from an emotional standpoint, we react. After a while, does that get tiring as well? Right? It also gets tiring. Emotional energy saps our energy. We can be angry, and then after a while, we would lose energy. Even if we're really happy, if we're too happy, we'll lose energy. If we analyze, so we use our emotion to react. We use our ego and our mind to analyze. If we're always thinking, right? We don't put our mind to rest. We lose sleep. The world we live in is people using a lot of this part of themselves. They can't sleep. Even if they go to bed, they're still thinking. And so they don't get a full night's rest. It's called stress. In fact, our human body, our human mind, the body is a wonderful self-healing machine. The human body is a wonderful self-healing, self-balancing machine. The body always want to get back into balance. The human body always want to get back into balance, a state of being at peace, being balanced. It's called homeostasis. And this is a medical terminology. I'll just write this down for you in another sheet of paper. It's called homeostasis, meaning to come back to the same state. Okay, we are learning about health, so I'm going to give you a little bit of knowledge about health. In the medical field, I work in the medical field, and we learn about a state called, okay, homeostasis. when you speak to another person and you in English and you use this word like a medical professional and you say homeostasis, they will really respect you. Homeostasis. Okay, there are two parts to it, the word stasis and the word homeo. Homeo to come back to, in a way you think of it as home, coming back to. Stasis is state, coming back to the same state. Okay, coming back to the same state, the human body and the human mind, we have the ability to balance ourselves and bring ourselves back to the same state of goodness, the state of balance. Think about it. When you are hot, when we are really, really hot, the weather is really hot, or we've exercised when we get really hot, what does the body do to bring us back to balance when we're really hot?
Cool down.
How does your body cool us down? How does our body cool us down?
Bring water.
The body doesn't bring it more water. The
Yeah.
body make us sweat. The heat in our body, when we get too hot,
Yeah,
the
that's right.
body cool us down by sweating. Get rid of the heat inside our body by sweating, getting rid of the salt, getting rid of the water. That's why when we have a fever, we get sick. Well, we get fever, we also sweat. So the body, in order for the body to lower the temperature of the body, we make a sweat. Now, when we're really cold, right, our temperature is now low. What does the body do to warm us up and bring us back to balance? What does the body do when we are cold?
Burn energy to create heat.
Our body make a shiver. Do you shiver when you're cold? That's a normal way of our body raising the vibrational energy of every cell in our body, bring us back to balance. Okay, that is our body. It's always trying to bring us back to balance. Obviously, the more we put ourselves out of balance, the more the body has to work to bring it back into balance. It wastes energy. We, on a daily basis, we also interrupt that process of balancing by thinking too much, by stressing. In fact, when we sleep, the body goes through the process of repairing and restoring balance, getting rid of damaged cells and creating new cells, and fixing whatever damage that we incur during the day. But in this day and age, we interrupt that process. We don't allow our body and our mind to return to a state of balance because of overthinking, overfeeling. We are constantly through the process of reception, ideation, expression, and cognition. We are taking things into our mind and our body that prevent us from being at peace. That's why it's constantly sapping our energy. And if we try to stay positive all the time, that too costs a lot of energy. And we already learned from the previous session that no matter how much positive you're going to get, the more positive, at some point, it'll swing back to being negative because we have this natural swinging oscillation back and forth between positive and negative. We are wrapped up in a shell of positive and negative polarity. You can try to be positive, but at some point, you will just go back to being negative. And that is why we employ this this technique. Right? So instead of letting our mind and our emotion take over, we just recognize any information, any event that happened as just information. I hear, I know, I see, and that's it. It doesn't take up a positive or negative charge. It is totally balanced. And when we do that, we are actually preserving energy. And we are able to maintain a high state of being. So with the inner being, okay, instead of reacting to the situation or analyzing, we simply receive it. Okay, we simply receive. Okay, and the technique to doing that is we use this technique called the raft. So this is a river. Okay, so imagine this is a raft, bamboo raft. Okay, bamboo raft. Okay, this is a bamboo raft, and we want to float across that river. Across the river is the shore of serenity, which is inner peace. And this raft is a raft of hear and see. We just hop onto the raft of I hear and I see, and that's it. And we stay on there. Don't fall off the river. Don't fall off the raft. Okay. And the longer we stay on the raft, the longer we will experience inner peace. The longer we can actually preserve the energy that we have. And so we don't have to try to be positive all the time. If we learn how to be how to achieve a state of inner peace through this practice. Okay, this river, this part is called the emptiness of being. Okay, that is called emptiness of being. And in terms of energy, go back to right here, go back to the human construct, or you can do it right here. Okay, in terms of energy, we have these layers. In terms of the emotion, it fluctuates a lot. It fluctuates a lot, and so we lose energy a lot. So our energy level as a human being is really low if all we do is exist in a state of emotional flux. Our mind, we are constantly thinking, also wastes a lot of energy. Energy is not as high if we're thinking too much. But if we can achieve a state of serenity by not thinking too much, just know that you hear, know that you see, then we can experience a state of very high energy, and we can avoid a lot of stress. We can experience a lot of good health just by learning to be at peace. And which is a great lead into today's discussion. Thank you to Marianne for that sort of lead in. Do you have any other question about that before we jump in? I think today's discussion will make it more clear for you as well. Are you at least temporarily satisfied with your question? Good question. Okay.
Okay.
So we don't always have to be positive all the time. You can be at peace, first achieve a state of serenity. And then after that, we use the root cause formula. We can proactively choose the kind of mental images that we see about ourselves and about other people. And then whatever thought that comes out or whatever emotion that we can come out, it can be very clear, it can be positive without being, how do you say, trapped by it. Okay. Okay. So let's jump to today's lesson.
Well, and then you did mention about to deposit more good into my account. Will practice the 7 great gifts of life.
Yeah. Once you achieve a state of serenity, then we can be very intentional about how and the quality of the kind of gift that we want to give to other people. It can be very effective in picking the right kind of gift. Once you achieve a state of serenity, later on when we learn about wisdom, we will discover that when we are at inner peace, we will have this kind of clarity that when we give to other people, we will give the appropriate kind of gift that will deposited not only a lot of positivity in the other person's inner being, but also deposit positivity in our own good fortune account. Okay, because without inner peace, without serenity, without clarity, we could do something that we may think is beneficial to another person, but it could turn out to be hurtful to them later. For example, if a person is poor, they don't have a lot of material possession, right? If a person is poor, that means they don't have a lot of good fortune. In fact, you can say that they have bad fortune, a lot of bad fortune. Their evil account has been activated, and they have no credit in their good fortune account in terms of financial possession. And if we unthinkingly or unaware, and we give them money, if a beggar come to us, let's say we give them money or we give them some material possession, does that not equate to them using up more of the credit in the good fortune account? It may help another person feel good for a short amount of time, but overall we have just caused them to use up even more credit in their good fortune, and we may inadvertently cause them to deplete the good fortune account. And then after that, they will even attract even more undesirable circumstances with respect to that account. But with serenity, we will learn later when we get to the wisdom level 3, we will learn how to help another person in such a way that can transform their awareness about themselves, awareness about material possession and things like that, so that they don't become dependent on other people's charitable giving all the time. They will learn how to create their own good fortune.
Serenity mean
Inner peace.
an vui.
Yes, and vui. Okay.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
thought you just surrender.
No, not surrender. Okay, not surrender.
Okay. All right, serenity. Okay.
Serenity. There's a prayer. There's a prayer. And in the Christian tradition, it says, "Dear God, please grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." Okay, so serenity, when we learn about wisdom, you will learn that it has to do with wisdom. We have to know when to make changes and when not to do anything, because sometimes even forcing any kind of positivity on ourselves or on another person can have negative consequences. Okay. All right, thank you for the question. Let's move on. All right, and I'm very grateful for those of you who have taken your time today. Okay, let me just adjust my screen so I can see more people. Okay, so today's the topic is pretty exciting. Let me start with this idea, this concept. So, so we live in a mostly physical world, okay, right? So most of us understand what is physical, too big, smaller, hang on. Still practicing how to write, okay? So we live in a physical world that contains physical matter, okay? Physical matter. Very simple. I'm using a mouse, okay? On the share screen, you see this computer mouse, okay? This is a physical matter, okay? It's material, it's physical, we can see it, we can touch it. Around it is empty space. Empty space. Okay, so in a traditional sense, the way we have been growing up and experiencing this world, anything that is physical matter are the kind of thing that we can see, that we can touch, right? anything that we cannot see and cannot touch, they're empty space to us, right? However, as scientists study the nature of matter, when scientists study the nature of matter, they zoom in and they zoom down, and they discover that at the bottom of all physical matter is a very basic structure, say called the atom, right? I think all of us went to school, we have learned about the atom being the foundation, that the makeup of physical matter. And nowadays, with the advances in science, they have been able to discover that the atom is made up of even smaller matter, which include the protons, the neutron, the electron, and even those are broken down to even smaller and smaller things. They call them quarks. Basically, all physical matter, when you break it down to the smallest aspect, then they are just a particle, okay? So when the scientists study matter down to the smallest level, they found that it is just a particle. They call it a fundamental particle, okay? Particle. Particle. Okay? Now, let's say, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to this other picture. So physical matter up to now, traditionally, the stuff that we can see, the stuff that we can touch, we call them physical matter. So I would draw a, this time instead of a mouse, I'm just gonna draw, let me use another pen. I'm gonna draw, pretend this is a table, okay? Inside a table is a ball, okay? So this is a ball. This is the stuff that we can see. Outside of it, stuff that we can't see, this is empty space. If we can't see them, we can't touch it. Our traditional sense tell us they are empty space. Okay, so this is the observed object. And because we can see it, you know, we are the observer. So I'm going to draw an eyeball right here. Eyelashes, okay. This eye is looking at the object. So this is called the observer. Okay, so every object that is observed, it needs the object and it needs the observer of the object. That makes sense so far? Yeah, pretty simple, right? Now, let's consider my hand, right? If my hand is the object and myself, you know, my eyes, I'm the observer. If the object is standing still, we can see it pretty clearly, right? If I were to move my hand, then you notice that it's kind of blurry. And if I move really, really fast, I don't know if I can move it so fast you can't see it, but can you understand how an object can move so fast that we can't even see it? That's an important part. Okay? If it's staying still, then we can see it. If it moves really fast, it starts to get blurry. If it moves super fast, then we can't even see it. It is invisible to us. Right? And it is because when the it's the same thing with the fundamental particle. fundamental particle. When the scientists look at a particle, they found out that the smallest structure of every matter is a fundamental particle. And if the particle moves slowly, okay, if it moves slowly, I'm just going to say that it slow. Okay, the particle moves slowly, we can see it. If the particle moves really fast, then we can see it blurry. In fact, every object in the universe, every particle in the universe is moving. Science has been able to discover that every particle in the universe is always moving. If they're not moving in one direction, they're moving up and down, they are vibrating. In fact, if they stop moving, they actually stop to exist. So there's this interesting nature to all matter in the universe, is that they are always moving. If they stop moving, they stop to exist. So they have to move in order to be a particle. Now, if the object moves very fast, okay, they become invisible, like a wave. What are some, okay, the particle is always moving. Okay. Always moving. If you move slowly, like my hand, if it's not moving, you can see it, or it moves slowly, you can see it. If it moves fast, you start to get blurry. If it moves super fast, we can't see it at all. In fact, if we take the example of a train, any of us ever have it stand still and see a speeding train speed by really fast, or a car speed by really fast? It zoom by really fast, right? You can barely see it. But if the train stops, then we can see what, the passengers. If the train is not moving, then you see the train, you can see the passenger. But at the same time, this particle that is moving, as they move and they vibrate, the scientists measure that vibration, and they call it, the scientists, they call it the vibrational energy frequency. And you will see how this is important. Vibrational energy frequency. Every object in the universe, every particle is always moving, and you measure it by looking at the vibration of the particle. Now, it turns out that when we see something, it is because we are a vibrational frequency match for that thing. Once again, take the idea of a train. If we're standing still and the train is moving super fast, then the difference between us, the person standing, and the train is a difference in speed that we see the train as blurry. But if we are on a second train, so there's a train going really fast, and we're on a second train, we're also going really fast, then we can look across the window and we can see the other passenger. Can you imagine that? Two trains, we're on one and the other one is on another train. We are going super fast. The other train is also going super fast, but the other passenger on the other train, they don't seem to be moving fast at all. And that is because we are moving at the same speed. We are a vibrational energy frequency match with that other train. Does this part make sense so far? So we can go back to the idea of an object that we observe. Right? There's an object that we can observe. It is because our eyes is a vibrational frequency match with that object. But there are other things that exist that we don't see. Whereas traditionally, what we see and feel is what, we limit our perception to what we can see. Okay, what we can see, but we can feel, what we can sense. What about things like Wi-Fi wave? Wi-Fi. Do Wi-Fi exist? Yeah, Wi-Fi exists, but we can't see it. We can't even feel it, or we can't sense it. But our phone can sense it. That's how we can receive the signal and talk to other people. Our phone is a vibrational frequency match. So I'm gonna write that one down here. Okay. The concept that we're working with today is vibrational energy. We're talking about energy. Frequency. Frequency is just a measure of the vibration. Frequency match. I can't see Wi-Fi. We cannot see radio wave. Ever listen to FM or AM radio? We cannot hear directly the FM or radio wave, but the radio, when you tune the radio to match the vibrational energy frequency of the channel that you want to listen, then we can sense it, we can hear it, right? If we want to hear some music on a channel, we have to tune the radio to exactly that vibrational energy frequency match. If we're off by a little bit, we hear static. If we're completely off, then we hear nothing. So you guys get the idea now? The idea is that in order for us to experience a certain things, to observe it, we have to be in one way or another a vibrational energy frequency match with that object. The thing that we can see. Human beings, we can see colors, we can see light. But colors and light have a certain limitation. Human being, we can see what's considered visible light. Anything that we can see, it is within the range of vibrational energy frequency that is considered visible. Everywhere, everything from red to green to yellow to blue to purple, which is called violet. There are frequency of light that is beyond violet called ultraviolet. Ultraviolet from the sun can burn our skin, but we can't see it. There are light wave that is beyond red. That's called infrared. We cannot see infrared. Same thing with sound. We can hear sound with a certain frequency, but we cannot see ultrasound. The dog can hear ultrasound. The dog can hear sound that the human being cannot see. Dog can hear ultrasound. A bat can hear ultrasound. There are certain vibrational energy frequency of sound, which is called infrasound, that is really low. A whale in the ocean can hear them, but we cannot, because they are a vibrational energy frequency match for it. You guys get that so far? The idea of a vibrational energy frequency match. Everything in the universe, every object has a vibrational frequency to it. And in order for us to see it, we have to be a match with that vibrational energy. Okay, so when it comes to vibrational energy frequency, it can be, to simplify things, right? To simplify things, to make it easy to understand, we divide it into 3 categories. We call it low frequency, high frequency, okay, and we're going to call this super high. Okay, so everything is always moving. If it's slow, we can see it. If it's flat, it's blurry. If it's super flat, we can't see at all, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Take right, so we already talked about the different kind of waves. Ultrasound wave, we're talking about different kind of light wave. So there are things traditionally we base our senses on what we can see, we can feel, and what we can sense. Okay, that is our perception. And let me write in another piece of paper. So now we're going to go into our awareness and perception. So we're going to, here we talk about the vibrational energy frequency. Okay, and we said that they have different degree. In fact, before that, our experience of life, earlier we used the ideas of an object. Okay, an object is the physical world. Matter, physical matter. Object is a physical world. Most of us, we are influenced by a perspective of the physical world. We are also often influenced by the ideas of the spiritual, religious, and here we're interested in the human experience. So it turns out that vibrational energy frequency also applies to these perspectives. It applies to the physical world. We talk about an object. We talk about different kind of waves. We also talk about the spiritual world, and we also talk about human experience. We already divided into three low. Okay, this is low, and this is high, and this is super high. Now, you will see from this little diagram why we have been spending a lot of time teaching about positivity and negativity in the human construct. Because human being, when it comes to a human experience, we have negativity corresponding to low vibrational energy frequency. We have positivity, which correspond to high energy frequency. And this is a little strange, but you will understand why balance correspond to super high vibrational energy frequency. And what is this? This is the state of energy of inner being. Okay. So we went through the root cause formula. We talked about creating positive, desirable mental images. We went through the human construct. We talked about positive state of being. We talked about causing other people to experience positivity so that we can attract positivity. And it turns out that it also applies to the physical world. And we can speak of it in terms of vibrational energy frequency. And as we said before, that in the physical world, we can only see an object when we are a vibrational energy frequency match for it. We can hear a radio station because we are a vibrational energy frequency match for that radio station. It's the same thing with human experience. It's the same thing with happiness. Okay, happiness. Everyone deserves to be happy. But why is it that some people are happy and some people are not happy? So from this concept, we can simply say that that person is not a vibrational energy frequency match for happiness. Same thing with health. Everybody wants to be healthy.
Instead of B,
Yes? Oops, okay. So same thing with health. A person who is not at a state of good health is, in another word, is not a vibrational energy frequency match of good health. And because if we are not a vibrational frequency match, then all we see is empty space. Right? In terms of a physical object, if we are not a physical match for it, then all we see is empty space. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Wi-Fi exists, FM radio exists, ultrasound exists, infrared exists, but we don't see them, we don't feel them, we don't sense them because we are not a vibrational energy match for it. We see that as empty space. Same thing with happiness. Happiness exists, but for some people, they don't see it, they don't feel it, they don't sense it because they are not a vibrational energy frequency match for happiness. All right, same with good health, same with great finance. It does not mean that good health doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that harmonious marriage doesn't exist. But for some people, they never experience harmonious marriage because they are not a vibrational energy frequency match for marriage, for happy, harmonious marriage. Do you guys get that so far? Yeah, it's pretty simple, right? From physical perspective, if we're not a vibrational match for something, we are not going to be able to sense it. From a human experience perspective, if we're not a vibrational energy match for it, we don't experience it. And in this this chart here, vibrational energy frequency ranges from low to high to super high. It corresponds to a state of energy that is negative, positive, or balanced. And this state of energy, so the question is, how do you change your state of energy from positive to negative to positive to balance? You do that, okay, by changing your state of awareness. Okay, state of awareness. That is why at the very beginning, and at every sharing, we generate the purpose of our sharing. The purpose is always to raise our state of awareness about ourselves, about the world, so that we can experience, we can create health and happiness for ourselves. Happiness exists, good health exists, but if we have the right kind of awareness, we're going to experience it. And science has already determined from tests and conclusion that happiness, high energy state, positivity, high energy state, positivity. Whereas negative things like blaming, resentment, anger, okay, those right here, blame, low energy state. negative. Okay, so blaming, low vibration, negative energy state. Arrogance is extreme positive, but extreme positive will easily swing to low. Gonna put you in a negative state very easily. Anger is easily low vibration, negative state. Okay, to be obstinate, low vibration, negative energy state. So what we do is we raise our awareness about the human construct. We raise our awareness about the ego, about the 16 human nature. Okay, about desire, about anger, about skepticism, about ignorance, about food, about comfort. When we raise our awareness, then we can simply turn blame into gratitude. We've gone from negative to positive. We go from arrogance to humility. We go from anger to magnanimity. We go from adultery to an understanding of morality. And so when we, as a human being, exist in a high energy state, meaning positive inner being, then we will simply attract positivity and desirable circumstances in life. Does that make sense? Anybody have any question about that so far? It is, it's so simple. And the key point that I want to make is that things like happiness and health exist. But the fact that we may not have experienced it yet it's because we are not a vibrational energy match for it yet. Okay, and how do we become an energy match for it? We raise our inner energy. We try to go from negative to positive in terms of those 16 personalities. But how do we go from negative to positive? We raise our state of awareness. How do we raise our state of awareness? We join a Zoom. We talk about it, we listen, we share with other people. So up to now, we have spent 8 sessions. Has any of you felt that your awareness about human experience has improved over the past several weeks? Do you feel that you have a higher state of awareness now? Yeah. Yeah, we learn about we learn about human construct. We learn about the root cause of life begins with me. Before then, we didn't know that the root cause of life begins with me. We blame other people. But now when we realize that the root cause of life begins with me, we can take ownership of our life. We can take ownership of our feelings, of our mind. We've already learned how to tap into the state of serenity, which is a balanced state, and it corresponds to super high frequency. With the state of balance that arrives with serenity and a super high frequency, we don't necessarily attract positive fortune in a material way. We don't get more money. We don't necessarily get more fame out of it. But what we do get when we experience a state of high balance and super high frequency is we get more clarity, we get more wisdom. And that will help us navigate the other 16 personality. Yeah, go ahead, Jiha.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vâng. I listen a lot, so I decided to say something to aware of aware of something clearly. So I remember that the last lesson last week we know about the negative and positive, but today we know about the way we balance our mind, right? So I see about low, high, and super high. Low, that's about our state of energy wave, story wave. It's not clear.
Mhm.
but it still have a little, right?
I'm not sure. Restate your question. What are you asking?
Oh, I know about vibrational.
Right.
It's
Okay.
about
Okay. You're asking about the speed, the fast and slow, right? Okay.
yes.
Yeah. The human construct. Where is that? Let me go back to the human construct. Okay. Good question. I know where you're going with it.
Yeah.
Where's that
Thank you
human
so much.
construct? Okay, we just used okay, let's use this one. Okay, it goes, our inner being, our true self is super high because it's a balanced state of being. Okay, super high energy. As we go down to our mind, our ego personality, it actually lowers in energy. As we go out to our emotion, the energy is even lower. We go out to our body, it's even lower. And that is why you can easily see the body. It's easy to sense the body. But because it's low, it's also harder to change, harder to move from one place to another. Our emotion, faster. We can change, throughout the day. You may be happy in the morning and we be sad at night. Our emotion change more easily than our body can move from one place to another. Can you agree with that? All right. To move our body from one place to another takes some time. Our emotion can change instantly, almost instantly, depends on how we react to it. Our thinking mind, our thought, is a higher energy. We can't even keep track of how many thoughts that we can think. Our inner being, on the other hand, is super, super high because we don't think. Now, there's a benefit to understanding this idea about slow, fast, and very fast. If we see our body as physical matter, if we see our body as earth, water, air, and fire, right, the particle, if we see our body as earth, water, air, and fire, in fact, we see our body as earth. Most of the time, we see our body as a physical stuff, nutrition. Earth represent, nutrition, the cells, because when we die, our body break apart and go back to the earth, okay, dirt. If we can perceive our own body as the earth, then that is very low in energy. It is difficult to change. Just like a rock, it doesn't move anywhere. It's hard to change. It's hard to move around. But if we perceive our body, let's say, as something that's a little higher in energy, air. If we perceive our body as air, every time we take in air, we breathe in air, the air travels through all about our body. Just take this moment. This is a real practice. We can practice this right now. See if we can sense our body as air. If we sense our body as air, then immediately we can feel a little lighter. If we exercise and we try to improve our muscle mass and we try to eat nutrition and we try to increase our weight and we try to do everything with the perception of our body as earth, and it's going to take a lot of time, it's going to take a lot of effort. But if we exercise and we think about it, ooh, I'm air. Then when I run, the air is moving. I'm not trying to move my earth body, I'm trying to move my air body. And so you will experience lighter sense of being. If our body is earth and we're sick, it's going to take a long time to get better. Because matter, physical matter, it moves slowly. It's harder to change. But if we understand our body is air, if we practice the Tai Gong De Gok, which is the internal body transformation exercise, then we can experience health a lot faster. That is changing our perception. If we understand our body as energy, Oh, that's an even higher state of being. We don't talk about it here, but we have energy. We have positive and negative electromagnetic energy. Right? Some people, like myself, for example, I practice a form of energy meditation. When people get sick or something, they get a cough or something, most of the time they take a medicine and it takes time for the cough or the illnesses to go away. But when you practice and you energy practices and you realize that your body is energy, then you can change your state of being very quickly. I can heal myself much more quickly when I see my body as energy. And if I see my body as energy, then exercises and then other things can be a lot lighter, can be a lot more effective. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, like I understand that the state of low energy is about natural feeling, depend on emotions, and our mind is about to circle outside.
This one?
Yes,
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
about emotions that when we react with the circle emotion or ego.
Mm-hmm.
And about high energy and super high energy. We know what we hear, we know what we see, we know what we speak. It's about high energy,
Mm-hmm.
and we practice frequently again. So we are will be a state of super high energy.
Yeah.
Super, right?
We can practice spending more time in a high frequency, high balance state of being, as opposed to being entangled in the ego and the mind, or instead of being sort of chained down by the emotion. Because the emotions are lower state of energy. The mind has a little higher energy, but that too, especially, but it's not that high if your mind is constantly thinking negative things, right? So if we can achieve a state of serenity where we are maintaining balance, we're not really thinking. When something happens, we just see it. We just know we see it, we hear it, we know we hear it, and that's it. Just that few instantaneous nanosecond of emptiness will save us a lot of energy and may allow us to maintain a state of high energy throughout the day. Human being, we can't stay in the state of emptiness all the time, nor do we want to. If we stay in a state of emptiness all the time, then we're not doing anything. We're not contributing any value to the world. In an emergency situation, in an emergency situation, a person who has no awareness will instantly react. They can be negative or positive, but they can instantly react. And if they react without thinking, they oftentimes will panic, they will react poorly, negatively, right? But a person who experiences emptiness of being in an emergency, just allow an instant, a moment of clarity, and then you're gonna move back and you have to react. But once you experience that moment of clarity, then your reaction or whatever you're thinking with the mind, it's gonna be a lot more productive and more effective than just blindly reacting and thinking without a state of emptiness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it,
So,
right? Yeah, the benefit of the state of being of emptiness is a state of high balance. Okay, when you're balanced, you are able to weigh, good and bad. You're able to make good decision. If needed, we can react. We can proactively generate an emotion. We can even generate anger.
yes.
We can even generate
We-
anger. Yeah.
Yeah, with its progress, we need practice like do exercise or like mm, learn new skill, right? Our brain, we had to practice train our mind frequently.
Well,
So,
practicing
yeah.
is one way to do it. And another way to do it is if you have enough, good fortune, then if you have enough intellectual merit,
Awareness.
then
Um,
you will experience that as an awareness.
Right,
It becomes a reality right away, and we
right.
don't actually have to practice at it.
Until super high, we practice enough times until it's become a natural react of us.
Yeah. Yeah. So for now, given whatever degree of intellectual merit that we have, whatever awareness that we have, we may have to practice. We may have to use effort in trying to, every time something happens, we have to say, oh, I know that I see, I know that I hear, I know what I see, I know that I hear, until it becomes an awareness. An awareness is something that's part of your perception. It is natural. You don't have to practice. You don't take an effort. Just like when we know that the sun comes up in the morning, it doesn't take any effort to know that the sun comes up in the morning. It is part of our awareness that the sun comes up in the morning. Right? It takes no awareness. It takes no effort. Now, because a human being, we have been so covered up by the ego and the emotion for so many years, that we have to use a little bit of effort. But after a while, when we let that become a part of our awareness, then we don't have to make too much effort anymore. It becomes a natural state of being. And that's why the inner being is drawn with a yellow golden circle. It represented by light. Okay, human being, we are creatures of light. We are born in the image of God. We shine. But because through eons and thousands of years of looking elsewhere for the truth about ourselves, we let the ego take over. We let the mind cover up our true self. We let our emotion dictate how we treat other people and ourselves, that we lose sight of who we truly are. Okay, we are a high energy being. Our nature is high energy being, but we let our other nature, our 16 human nature, take over. But now that we have a new awareness about vibrational energy frequency, then we understand that whatever state of being that we have or not have, it is simply because we are not a vibrational energy match for it. If we are fortunate enough to experience happiness, that is because we are a vibrational energy frequency match for happiness. If we have great health, then we are a vibrational energy frequency match for great health. And a lot of that has to do with our state of inner energy. Okay, we are negative, positive, or balanced. If we notice that we've been being very positive about life, then we will tend to exist in a vibrational energy frequency that is high. And as a result, we attract positive and desirable things into life. But if we've been very negative, we've been doubting ourselves, or we've been blaming other people, we've been angry a lot, then we're going to exist as a low vibrational energy frequency. And as a result of that low energy or that negative energy state, we have been attracting negativity into our lives. And so I hope that this new awareness of the vibrational energy can help each of us be proactive in trying to raise our own energy. Simply by switching from negativity to positive, as well as to perform the 7 great gifts so that we can cause other people to go positive, so that we can deposit positivity into our good fortune account, so that we can ultimately achieve positivity in life, greater health, better quality relationship, better finance. And if we can raise other people's awareness, share this idea, right? Then we ourselves will exist in a super high frequency state. We will have more wisdom, we will have more understanding, and then from that, we will be more able to navigate the other part of the human construct, which is our 16th personality. Does that make sense? Yeah? Any question or impression so far? So our state of awareness is very important, okay? There was a homework for Marianne a couple weeks ago. Marianne, do you remember your homework?
Yeah, think what is it? Have a positive image about my nephew.
Did you try anything?
Oh, I have. We haven't met yet.
Okay.
Yeah, he live in a different state. I live in
Okay.
different state. Yeah,
Okay.
but can I say something like I remember one of the master saying that we all when we was born, we all once a little one, right? A child. So when we was born, we were gifted with 7 great gifts of life, right?
Yeah.
You look at the babies, we just remember, we used to be a baby too. So we make people happy, our parents happy,
Yeah.
And things like that. But in the process of growing up, we it depends on the environment that we grow up, right? Some people grow up in a safe like high class environment. They don't experience a lot of negativity, like fighting and drug and everything. So it depends on the environment that we grow up. We tend to loosen our 7 great gifts of life. So now, thanks God that with this knowledge, our master Thầy Toàn, right, and everybody in the Wit family try to help us to gain back that 7 gifts of life. When we have that, just get, just if we can gain back those 7 gifts of life naturally, just like a baby, like you smile to, happy, whatever, just like a baby, then you will have either balance or high frequency, right? Or vibration, whatever. So when we have a positive or a positive frequency or vibration, we attract more possibility, more positive, stuff into our life. Our life will be, happen, as the way we want it, or whatever. So that's what I understood, right? It's like, the more I know learn about this knowledge, I would like try to gain back those 7 gifts of life. I mean, it's easy for us here in the West, like, American, we go out and we say hi, morning, to strangers. That's no problem. But I don't think it's that easy to do it, in Vietnam. But so as and in the environment that we grow up and we live here, we are more open, we more relaxed, even though the work is more stressful, than the work in Vietnam, but but everybody still have peace of mind, so my point is like, okay, so you are talking about energies, and so positive energy, high vibration will attract more like New either, okay, whatever that, you know,
Desirable, yeah, favorable
the
circumstances, yeah.
desire, right, a favorable desire into our life, right? So to conclude, right? To conclude, we need to maintain our inner peace. Once you have inner peace and you have, that's what I understood, right? Once I had my inner peace, I slowly gain back my 7 gifts of life, and then I'll try to be, as a woman, I like to be young and stay young forever. So I would love to be become a baby again, like just see what I see, hear what I hear, just move past away the emotion and 84,000 verbal, whatever. But the thing I learned from this knowledge is like, before, here in America, when we drive and people cut in front of me, I like, oh, and sometimes they even give me a finger. I say, oh God, like I about to give them a finger back, but then one of the priest said, no, if they give you 1 finger, give them 2 fingers. I said, okay, from now on. I said, okay, yeah, okay, they give me 1, I give you 2, right? That means peace, okay. So I mean, so what I gain from this knowledge is I become more easy. I take life, I take things easily, not like before. So like when I get in line and people, cut in front of me, I'm just like, okay, maybe they need to, they're on a hurry or something. That's what I did too. I cut when I'm on a hurry or I was late for work, I just cut in front of people too. That's what so I think, okay, that's my, I just don't, like not like before, getting angry or upset, but now I'm just more, very relaxed, peaceful, and like in the buffet, like all you can eat buffet, before, when I see people, when they put out like crabs, legs and or whatever the expensive meal food, and people like jump in and like take whatever without consideration, like God, people, around here we lay in, wait in line, and you get all that, good food all by yourself. And I usually like, very, very angry. And sometimes I even went to a manager and complained to, but for now I said like, that's all right. If I don't have that food, I eat something else. So just more relaxed. So I think that's way is help my health being too. Like I'm become healthier. I aware of what I eat. I try to exercise and be positive. So I think the mind is the most important thing. If you have positive thinking, inner peace, you will wherever you go, you will release the positive energies. So around you, and people acknowledge it. People acknowledge. I mean, I'm in a choir at church, and all the choir members said, what did you do? You become, happier and younger.
Wow.
I said, well, I'm available now, so.
I remember that from last time. Yes, single and available, right? New.
Available now, so I, try to be, happy and be, more attractive. But I just said it in my mind, but I just smile back and I try to find a opportunity to introduce this knowledge to them. But for some reason, I don't have that chance yet. So hopefully, with this coming Saturday, we'll discuss more about this knowledge. Hopefully I will, spread this knowledge to somebody else, especially in the church members.
So, yeah, I acknowledge and I appreciate the positivity that you bring today. I think, yeah, there's a clear, definite transformation. Okay, I really appreciate that. I'm grateful for your sharing. We can take your reality as you know, as a lesson for us to all to become. At the same time, I want to make sure that you understand today's concept. So let me ask you this. When you're driving and somebody cut in front of you, right? We consider that would be an undesirable outcome in life, right? We can say that at that moment it is an undesirable outcome. And if we perceive that person has cut off in front of us, can we say that we are a vibrational energy frequency match for being cut off in front?
Yes, because I do the same thing.
Yeah, right,
Yes.
right. It is like, yeah, it is like that. It is the same. No way of using that the root cause formula, right? Our outcome in life is a result of our choices, and our choices is a compatible match for who we are. So when we experience somebody as cutting off in front of us, it is because we are a vibrational energy frequency match for the being cut off in front of.
Mhm.
Of a person who is not a vibrational energy frequency match for it, to them that would be empty space. To them that would be nothing. They would not even notice some car just being in front. That's it. It is not being cut off. Do you get that? Because at that moment there is some there's a state of being. The mind has just analyzed that as being right or wrong. There may be a emotional response, right? It could be a negative response at that moment. Otherwise, will you not have told about it? But at that moment, it is because we exist as a vibrational energy frequency match for that outcome. Think about that. So it's good that we are now understanding what it means to be higher energy and positivity. But if we can learn to exist in a state of emptiness, then when the car cut in front of us, then we would not see that as being cut off in the first place. There would not have been a story told. And then you would truly experience inner peace, serenity. Did you get that point?
Right. So I still have I still analyze. So I still use the mind and emotion.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
I still have that, but not to the extreme. Not to the negative side.
That's good. That's good. So you're going positive and you're using the positivity, and that's working out for you, and that's great. And in the subsequent sharing, when we talk about energy, when we talk about wisdom, we will learn about different levels of wisdom, and some of them has to do with knowing right and wrong. So at some point we would have to be able to judge right and wrong. We would have to know when to take ownership of a situation and when we need to be at peace. Okay. But it's important that we recognize that whenever we see anything or feel anything or experience anything, it is because we are a vibrational energy frequency match for it. Otherwise, we would not have seen it. So the next time somebody does something undesirable or something negative, we see something negative, realize in an instant, realize that, oh, I am an energy match for that negativity. And in order to escape from that trap of negative energy, okay, you can try to be positive, but being positive, as we mentioned earlier, could sap a lot of energy. It takes a lot of effort. But instead of trying to be positive to reverse a negative situation, just go empty. Okay, just go empty. And then at that instant, causality will stop. We just receive it, we welcome it, and then we don't plant any new seed. Okay. Any, I see a lot of head shaking, it seems to be, but people seem to be understanding this stuff. Any more comment and question before I move on to the next section, which talks about vibrational energy frequency with respect to time. Okay, we talked about space, we talked about matter and energy in space. We're going to talk about energy frequency of time. Any comment before we move on?
So how we raise the state of awareness though? You know, like in my case, I'm slowly moved from negative to balance, you know, toward the positive, you know, side. But so you said stay in the being of emptiness. How can I do that? Like meditation, maybe?
Well, now, the simplest thing is just use the RAF. I know I see, and I know I hear. And the longer you can maintain that state, the longer we will experience serenity, the longer we will be experiencing clarity. Meditation can help. Meditation will put us in a state of emptiness. But when we get out of, you know, there are people who meditate and then they get out of meditation and they go angry. I've seen plenty of meditators go angry and emotional. And so if we can achieve a state of emptiness while we are conscious, that is it is a form of meditation. Okay, it is a form of meditation. And since you're speaking of meditation, okay, I'll just mention it. Since you're talking about meditation, there is a type of meditation that when you're at work, it is called one word meditation. It's one word, but it's this word. Stop, drop, cease, release. One word. Don't think of it as 4 words, just think of it as one word. When something happened, if you immediately notice that your emotion is responding, or if your mind starts to analyzing, just tell yourself, stop, drop, cease, or release. Pick one of those words, any one of those words. If your mind, our busy mind, feels like a burden, for some of us, we're burdened by a constantly analytical mind, it is so tiring, then just drop it. Like we're wearing a heavy backpack. Or if emotion is so strong, or if somebody's doing, you know, we are being reactive or analytical, just stop it, or drop it, or seize it, or just let it go, release it. That is a meditation while we're awake at any moment in time in response to any situation. The other one is I know it, I know that I'm hearing, and I know that I'm seeing. Same thing. This one is directed to our own inner being. This is directed, you know, our mind and our emotion that is taking control of us. This is taking over ourself. This is being owner of our inner being. Okay, an owner is someone who is proactive and taking full responsibility for our inner world. The other one is, oh, I know I'm seeing it, I know I hear it. That's it. And after a while, you don't even have to say those mantras anymore. It just become a natural state of being.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
One word meditation: stop, drop, cease, release.
All right. I'll write it and tape it right in front.
Yeah. You can say
It's on
write
my-
this one or
on the
write the other
wheel.
one. Okay, or the other one, or write the other one in the mirror. Tape it all over your room, your house. Okay.
Yeah, and in my car too. Yeah.
Yeah, your car too. Okay.
Thank
okay.
you.
So,
Gina, you
Mr.
want to?
Burke and Mary, I want to share a little bit about angry.
Okay.
That I read the book and I know the way control my anger. When I feel angry, I accept that it's a natural feeling that any humans have. So I didn't deny it. I accept, oh, I know I am angry. and I follow my area. It's not yeah, it's not delete it. It's about I know that, oh, I am angry. Yeah, it's my natural feeling. I have said it. And then maybe I change my state, go out, go away, or I have the feeling. It's may when I aware of that I am angry, and I see my anger happen inside my head, and then it's disappear.
Very good.
I accept it, and I follow my feeling about angry. Oh, I am angry. I am angry. I know I'm angry. And a few minutes, I don't know how many time, but it's disappear after that. And I choose that something whatever I feel angry, I upset, and I said, oh, I know I'm angry. I know I'm angry, and that reaction after that my choosing. I can take a deep breath and choose react like this or like that. That my choose, and I patient myself to choose the best option, the best reaction after that. Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's my experience.
Jenny, what Jenny is saying is you're being magnanimous with yourself. Okay, you're actually being you are using one of the three great energies that will basically protect you from negativity. That is being magnanimous with yourself, which means the tolerance and accepting and forgiveness. Where you don't blame yourself for being angry, instead you just accept it, and you are opening and embracing yourself. Okay, that is one way to do it. And Chilam said that what about focusing on breathing? Okay, so focusing on breathing is also a good practice when I deal with anger. Okay, when we're focusing on breathing, several things happen. We are first of all, we're not focusing on the anger, so immediately you can focus on anything. You don't have to focus on breathing. You can focus on, you know, a light. You can focus on something else. When we shift our attention to something else, then you give no energy to that negative emotion. Okay, focusing on breathing has a benefit of increasing our energy flow. It is a physiological, it is a physical process where we actually, you know, feel healthier and happier at that moment, because more energy flow, our mind become clear, the oxygen comes in, and it balances our body. So focusing on your breathing is another way to do it. But all of that is still using some techniques, some tools, which is fine. People do it all the time. But if you can come to a awareness, if we can expand your awareness to a level where you realize, oh, I am experiencing this because I am a vibrational match for this. And if I am not a vibrational match for this, this would not happen at all. That's the beauty about expanding your awareness. When our awareness about inner being expands and our energy is raised to a higher level, then we would not have a need to focus on breathing at all. Right? So instead of waiting for an event to happen negatively, undesirably, and then applying the techniques of breathing, see if we can raise our awareness to a point where we will not experience a negative thing as negative. It is only become negative, and we only become angry because we're a vibrational match for it. And we are forced to use our mind, we are forced to use different techniques to save ourselves, which is fine, which is what we should do. And at this level, when our awareness is still at this level, as we talk more about the wisdom in the subsequent days, we will less likely need to use this technique, because a state of being, a high energy being, will become a natural state. Okay. Okay. So let's any more question sharing before we move to time? Yeah, no? Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go to time. All right. Exciting stuff. Time. We're going to travel through time. Okay. So let's do time. This is time. Okay. So traditionally, when we think of time, do we not think of past, present, and future? And when we think about time, we think about past, about the present, about the future. But the question is, how much time do we actually spend in the past? How much time do we spend in the present? And how much time do we actually spend in the future? Do we exist in the past?
Maybe.
The
Oh, no.
past is gone. Do we really exist in the past?
Oh.
The
Past
past,
past is a
is-
memory.
the past is just
Future is a dream.
a memory, yeah, a collection of memories of events that we recall in our mind, a movie that we play over mind, okay? It's just memory.
Live in the past, but
Yeah,
I can remind me something.
yeah, it just the past is a movie that reminds you about something and that we have experienced. Do we exist in the future? No, that's easy to right? No, we don't exist in the future. The future hasn't come us, but we see images of the future, right? We think about it, we plan ahead. For a lot of us, we worry ahead, things that hasn't happened yet, and we feel anxiety over it. How often do we spend in the present?
Very little.
Very little. When we're working, we're thinking about what's for dinner. When we're at home for dinner, we're thinking what we should do, tomorrow at work. We're always, our mind is not, even though we exist in the present, but our mind is thinking about the past and the future. Right? Our mind doesn't ever focus on the moment. But what is the moment? What is the present? From a scientific perspective, if you and I are looking at each other, okay, it takes time for the light to hit your face, and then that light travel to my eye. It takes time for the light from the sun or from the room to hit your face, and then that light reflects and it goes into my eyes, and it takes some time for my brain to interpret that light. So when I'm looking at you, I'm not actually looking at you in the present. I'm looking at you in the past. Do you know that the light from the sun takes 8 minutes to get to Earth? If we look up at the sun, we don't see the sun as it is now. We look at the sun, we see the sun as it is 8 minutes ago. When we look at the stars, it takes light from the stars. The nearest stars is 4 light years away, meaning it takes the image from that star 4 years. The light from that star, the nearest star, not our sun, the nearest star from to us, it takes 4 years for the light from that star to reach us. So when we look up in the sky and we look at the star, we're not seeing the star as it is now. We're seeing that star as it existed 4 years ago. So when science scientists look out into space and they look at the stars and the planet from far, farther away, the farther away they look, the longer it takes for the light to travel. That means they are actually looking back in time. When you look at the star, you're not seeing the stars as it is now. You see the stars as it exists in the past. The star could have been gone by now, but we don't know that until the light reaches us and we see that when light reaches us. So when we see another person, we're actually not seeing them in the present. We are seeing them in the past. Because we're so close, it feels almost instantaneously. Everything happened and we can sense it right away. But we actually don't see the other person in the present, ever. Kind of interesting, huh? That's one awareness that we can sort of appreciate. When we look at another person, we're not seeing them in the present, we're seeing them in the past. They could change, but by the time that change reaches us, it takes some time for the light to reach us and some time for our brain to process that light, and then we will know it by the time that person has already changed and different. So if we think of it that way, it's become not very useful to think of a past, present, and future. Okay, not only that we are never really in the present, we don't even pay attention to what's going on. We're always thinking about the things that happened yesterday, the month before, years ago. We're worrying about the future. So our traditional sense of time is not really very useful for us. So instead, we're going to apply the new idea. Okay, so vibrational, I'm going to shorten it up. Vibrational energy frequency. Okay, vibrational energy frequency. And we're going to talk about the sense of time. And we're going to talk about the value of time. Okay, vibrational energy frequency. So let's consider this. Have anybody ever experienced a time when you're doing something and it really goes by really fast? It could be hours and it goes by really fast.
Yeah, sleep.
That one way.
Seems like I never have enough time to sleep.
If you have a good sleep, you will feel like it's gone by really fast. But what about nights where we can't sleep? When we have anxiety, when we have worry, and the night drag on and on and on. And
Yep,
that night seems to take forever. It never seemed to want to get light.
right.
How about waiting for your first date to show up? How does time feel when we're anxious about meeting our first loved one? Does it kind of drag on?
Yeah, 1 minute seemed like a year.
Oh, yeah. On the other hand, when we're with our loved one, we're enjoying, we're happy, and before we know it, it's time to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something about a human being's sense of time that can be either fast or slow. Right? Somehow our sense of time can be either fast or slow. And what about the value of time? Have we ever experienced a time when we got a lot of things done? In just a short amount of time, we're so productive. We got all the chores done, we got all the projects done, we call all the people that we need to call. Our projects seem to get together and we complete all that we need to do in a very short amount of time, an unimaginably short amount of time. And then there are other times where we don't seem to get anything done at all, even though we have a lot of time. We can give ourselves days to do a project and nothing ever gets done. Does anybody notice that?
Mm-hmm.
It seems that when we are productive, it correlates to, it feels really fast. Like when we are with our loved ones, it feels really fast. But in that short amount of time, we got a lot of things done. right? So our sense of time, this color, let's see if I can get a different color. Our sense of time. Okay, so our sense of time is value, more versus less. When we're worried and bored, time seems to be very slow. And we don't get very much done. When we are happy and excited and hopeful, time seems to go right by. But during that time, we also get a lot more done. The value of time has increased. And it turns out that the value of time, the sense of time, also correlate to our vibrational energy frequency. So if our vibrational energy frequency is high, we tend to experience it, time tends to go by really fast. But during that fast time, we got a lot more value done. If our vibrational energy frequency is low, time feels like it drags on. And even though we drag on, we have a lot of time, we don't get much done. Interesting, huh? The light particle, okay, the light particle. Light is a wave and a particle. It is an energy packet. Light is a very, very high, a super high energy frequency particle. There are different types of particles in the world. Everything has a vibrational movement. A rock moves very slowly. It's got very low vibration. You can't even see the rock vibrate. And because it vibrates so low, its overall natural frequency is low, it doesn't really want to move anywhere. Light, on the other hand, has a very super high frequency, and as a result, it can move very fast. This is a fact in the physical world. In fact, light can move so fast that it can travel 300,000 meters per second. That's yeah. So that's like 300 kilometers per second, if I'm like, go really fast. And it turns out that science has been able to prove that a person who is moving really fast also age more slowly. It is because never mind, let's not go there. Let's not go there, too complicated. We're gonna think about time in a different in a different sense. We think about our life. We're talking about human experience here. When we are first born, okay, when we're first born, we're like a little baby. Let's use, yeah. When we were first born, we're lying down, okay, little baby. Okay, we're lying down. But when we're first born, our vibrational energy is also very high. It is a time when we are growing. As we got older, okay, you become a kid, then become a teenager, and then by the age 20 or so, we're at a peak of energy. And after that, we start to decline. Okay. And then we get really, really old. We can barely stand up. And then we eventually will lie down again. So our life goes through this sort of trend of birth, growth, decline, and end. With high energy, it is growth. With low energy, it is called aging, decline. Right? So, get that so far? You notice that when we're young, we have high energy. Okay? We grow. But at some point, our energy will reach a peak at around age 20 or so. We start to decline. Our bodies slow down. And at some point, our body will break down. So if we think of ourselves as 40 years old, middle age, then we think of ourselves as being part of this low energy, declining phase of life. That's why, you know, over the hill people, and in English, that's the word over the hill. We are aging. However, if we change our awareness that we are 20 years old, we are at the peak of our energy state, right? Because we talked about a state of being, at a state of awareness. If we can shift our awareness to be one that is, oh, I am 20 years old, then we will exist in a high energy vibration, and then we will be able to accomplish and be a lot more productive than if we are 40, 50, 60 years old. And that is why there's a tradition in the WIT community that when we introduce ourselves, we can say, my name is Frank. I was born in whatever year, and I am 20 years old. I'm really 20 years old. Not I am 20 years with, I'm 20 with years old. I hear people say, my real age is 70, but I'm 20 with years old, meaning I'm my fake age. my real age is 70, but my fake age is 20. That's not an awareness. That's just, you're just saying it. You don't, that's not an awareness, okay? My real age is 20 years. Chronologically, I may have been around, you know, since 1979, but at this moment, my age is 20. It is, and that is a state of awareness as applied to, right, state of awareness as applied to our state of energy of the inner being, which will apply to our vibrational energy frequency. If we have a state of awareness that we are at the peak, at the height of our growth, that our energy is high, then we're going to be able to accomplish a lot more, like 20 years old can. That is why people in WIT can do 23,000 squats. They can rotate 5 hours, 21 hours. That is why people who were born in the 1950s can run marathon, swim 10 kilometers in the ocean, even though their chronological age may be 60, 70 years old. It is because their awareness of themselves as being at 20 years old, at the very high state of being, high vibrational energy frequency. So that is a realization, that is a state of awareness of our physical body, right? There is also other awareness that we can apply this to our health. Okay, so when it comes to health, So remember, we have the mental health. The World Health defined health as a state of complete mental, physical, and relationship well-being. Okay, so mental, we have the physical, and we have the relationship. Okay. So when we think of ourselves as 20 years old, then our mind will exist as the mind of a 20 years old. When we are 20 years old, we are creating new relationship. We're dating people. We're planning about the future. Our body is in tip-top shape. Okay. And then I want to share a little bit about sleep. Okay, and then rest. Remember, we said that when our vibrational energy is high, our sense, we may feel that it goes by really fast, but we get a lot of value out of it as well. We get a lot of value done. So if we apply this new awareness about time, awareness about high energy frequency with respect to sleep, then instead of sleeping 8 hours a day and feeling, oh, I'm tired, or tomorrow I have to wake up and go to work, if you enter sleep with a negative, low vibrational energy frequency state, then the sleep is not going to be very productive. We may sleep 8-10 hours and not feel rested. But if we enter our sleep with a positive mental attitude, or best yet, balanced mental attitude, then we don't need to sleep all 8 hours. You can sleep less time, but still get a lot of rest. We get more rest done. Rest is the productivity of sleep. Get it? So don't worry about sleep. Focus on rest. Rest is the productivity of sleep. When we go to sleep, our mind is supposed to, our thinking mind is supposed to slow down or stop thinking so that our automatic processes in the body is supposed to restore and heal whatever damages that we incur due to stress, due to physical movement. Our body go enter into recovery mode when we sleep. Only if our thinking mind stops. But if our thinking mind doesn't stop, if we continue to stress, then we don't let that automatic recovery and repair process take over. And so we never get rested. No matter how long we sleep, if we sleep in a state of anxiety and worry, we will never get enough rest. And that is why our master, Mr. Tuan, doesn't seem to sleep, but he gets a lot of rest. Because he just had to close his eye for 10 minutes, enter a state of balance. When you enter a state of balance, the electromagnetic polarity in all the cells of your body is also balanced. Instead of being extremely positive or extremely negative, all the cells in the body become balanced. And so all the exchange process, all the repair and recovery process is maximized. When we close our eye with a state of balance, then we can supercharge the rest. 10 minutes can be equivalent to 10 hours. Meditation does the same thing. Meditation puts a person in a state of relaxation and rest, even though you don't fall into sleep. But when we meditate, we stop our mind from thinking, stop worrying, then our body, our natural recovery mechanism take over. homeostasis. We talked about homeostasis. A body bring ourselves back to a state of balance. It is the rest that is the value, not the sleep. If we sleep and we stress over sleep, we may dream weird dream and we don't get anything out of it. So we can recognize that vibrational energy frequency determines value. High vibrational energy frequency determines more value and productivity. At work, when we work with high energy frequency, when we are positive, when we are grateful, when we are magnanimous to ourselves and to other people, then our work becomes very productive. Same thing with our sleep. When we sleep with gratitude, with serenity, lie down, close your eye, feel peace, feel grateful for the day, feel grateful to have this moment to rest. Be generous to yourself, put yourself in a state of high energy frequency, and then our rest becomes supercharged. I used to have mental health problems. I used to be depressed. I used to be diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I used to take a lot of medication for over 20 years. But in the past year or two, past year, after studying after taking the mental wit course, I had less sleep, but I have learned to better rest. I no longer need to sleep 8 hours. I only sleep about, I think, 5 or 6 hours now, and I still feel the same, if not more energy than before, simply because I know how to put myself into a higher state of energy vibration. Being grateful for this moment to rest, be at peace with everything that is, and so my rest become a lot more restful. Restful. That's it. That's really all there is to say about energy vibration. There is a great benefit to understanding vibrational energy frequency. Okay, if we are still experiencing some negativity, that is mean because we are a vibrational energy match for that negativity. We can learn to raise our vibrational energy frequency to high and ultra high by learning to shift our awareness from negative to positive, by learning to go back to balance, to emptiness, by helping other people go positive with our 7 great gifts of giving, and by learning to rest. In fact, we can increase the amount of rest all day long without sleep. So remember, health is mental, relationship, and physical, right? When we're sitting down and doing this Zoom, don't think of it as work. Don't even think of it as studying. Think of it as rest. Resting our body, and we're taking care of our relationship health, right? We're interacting, we are taking care of our relationship health. We are doing the gift of appearance, gift of our speech for other people, give a position when we're helping each other raise awareness. So we are taking care of our relationship health. We're working on our awareness and wisdom. We are improving our mental health. And since we're sitting still, we're not moving around much, we are taking care of our physical health. We are resting. Right? So anything that we do, we can enter a state of rest. And by resting more, we become healthy. The world teaches you to work hard. I'm teaching you to rest more. More work will bring more stress. There's no such thing as more work making you more healthy. It is only more rest that will make a person healthier. But more rest doesn't mean sleep more. We learn to rest in action. And in fact, where is that one? A great way to rest while moving is the sixth golden word in action. Do it simply. When we complicate things, we're stressing out, we're not resting. Do it joyfully. That raises our vibrational energy frequency. Do it trustingly. It also raises our vibrational energy frequency in terms of that, the skepticism nature. Do it lightly. Okay, don't make it too heavy. Do it lightly. And when you do it lightly, you're essentially resting. And we do it regularly. Do it wholeheartedly. So sixth golden word in action has the built-in rest component to it. Same with exercising. Right? We can do squat. Most people can't do a few dozen squat before they get tired. They can't do a few hundred squat before the pain in the legs and the arm will start to stop them. But if we do squat, rest, and stand up, and then rest, and then rest, and then rest. Same with swimming. If you swim non-stop, we can get tired. But you do one stroke and you rest, even if that rest is half a second, do another stroke and rest for half a second, then you're resting more than you're exercising. Then you can swim 2 kilometers, 10 kilometers without feeling tired because we are resting more than we are working. And when we do it with a positive energy vibration, then we get more done because it is part of human nature and it is built into the physical world that when our energy vibration is high, we get more things done, even though time seems to fly by really quick. Our Zoom here seemed to fly by really quick too. Every Thursday morning, we spend 2 or 3 hours and it goes like that because we're helping each other raise our vibrational energy frequency. Did you get that? Yeah, so you can practice the sixth golden word in action. We can practice go to sleep. Okay. So from now on, don't worry about sleep. Just think about how can I be more restful. In order to do that, raise our energy frequency, being at peace, being magnanimous with ourselves, being grateful. When I teach my son and my wife every night when we go to bed, we pray. We don't do the traditional prayer. In the past, we do the traditional Our Father prayer and the Hail Mary prayer. Now we just pray by saying I am grateful for, thank God for something. And me, I always begin a prayer by saying thank God for a peaceful day. Even if nothing happens, gosh, I am so grateful that nothing happened. Imagine all the accidents and the terrible thing that could happen to people during the day. If nothing happened to me, that's a wonderful day. I didn't get injured. My son didn't get sick. We didn't get fired from work. Our house is still in one piece. If nothing happened that day, that is a wonderful, wonderful day. And we are grateful for the peace of that day. And then, we take turn. We say we are grateful for having a job that we can create value and bring home the money. We have the philosophy of root education. We are grateful for each other. We have the time to spend a husband, the wives, and children. Find the blessing, count our blessing. I teach our son to do the same thing. Teach our son that if we are grateful for the things that we have, then we will have more of it and we continue to have it. If we do not feel grateful for it, we're going to lose it. We'll learn that in the wisdom section about gratitude. We all take turn saying our gratitude, being grateful for each other. Okay, and our rest become very pretty restful. We don't need to sleep 8 to 10 hours because we rest throughout the day, and our rest is much more productive. For a masterthon, 10 minutes could be 10 hours like other people. Okay. Any question or sharing before we say goodbye and see you again on Saturday?
On Saturday this week?
So Yeah, so we're gonna shoot for Saturday in the West Coast America. Okay, so that is gonna be Saturday in Vietnam as well at night. So here we're gonna start 6 a.m. here, and it is going to be 9 p.m. in Vietnam. Okay, and I'm inviting you to spend 24 hours with me. And I'm inviting you to write down 5 things that you want in life, your 5 desires. And my intention is through that 24 hours, you will have created a reality for yourself from that 5 desires. Okay? Were you here when I shared the flyer? Let me share the flyer again. Let's see, where's the flyer? Flyer. Turn on that flyer. I'm pretty proud of that flyer. There we go. Okay, let me share that flyer. Yeah. Okay. See that? See that screen? See the flyer? Let me zoom in.
Yes.
Yeah. So in Vietnamese, it says thấu suốt ba hệ quy chiếu chuẩn. We're going to apply the 3 prime reference system. Basically, it's going to be very much of a review from day 1 to now, plus the triangle of reality, which we did not cover yet. Okay. And then here it says create the life you want. Bring 5 desire. Okay, 5 wanting. Okay, so Ron, Ji Hua, Lâm, Mary Ann, yeah, Jenny, write down 5 things that you want. I know we all want. Remember, desire.
I want to say thank you, Frank, that as you know, we went to the 10-day offline, and a lot of the information you shared today was identical to what they shared over the 10 days. And I found it very interesting. Got a lot more knowledge about all of it.
Yeah, but I bet they didn't ask you to specifically identify 5 desire and turn it into reality, huh?
Actually, I did share quite a bit about turning
Awesome.
things into reality.
Great.
I was in groups. I had some good interpreters, so that helped me a lot.
Okay.
And I was able to share that. Actually, I gathered quite the group while I was there, because a lot of people want to learn the English version as well.
Okay.
So in a way, I was raising their awareness, and I was getting my own awareness as well.
Okay. If you have their contact, you can help me invite some people to the Saturday. I'll send out the flyer, and you can, if you can help me, get some people that'll, more interaction will cause each other to raise our awareness, expand our awareness, and experience the transformation.
Actually, I have people here right now where they're all with WIT, and they're sharing right now as well. But that's I'm actually talking to him right now, so
Okay,
he wants us to gather some people for Saturday.
gather some people for Saturday. Hello.
9
Frank,
p.m.
hello cả
Okay.
nhà.
Yeah, hello.
Cũng lại gặp thêm một ní ở WIT nữa đang chia sẻ tri thức. We are sharing the knowledge, yeah.
Yeah.
Very appreciate your sharing. Ron got
Okay.
a lot today, I'm sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I don't know, Jilam, were you here when I showed this flyer earlier at the beginning? The idea.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, the idea is that this is a picture that my wife, who is a graphic designer. The idea in the back is that's coal.
Oh,
okay? Coal. When coal is put under pressure, it turns into a diamond. And this idea of a 24-hour sharing is that pressure. We're taking the knowledge and we're squeezing it in to a 24-hour sharing. And from that sharing, the idea is that each of us will walk out with, instead of 5 lumps of coal, which is our desire, we're going to get 5 diamonds. Okay. It is the intensity of the continuous pressure and repetition in this in a controlled environment that will help each of us transform a lot faster than if we just spread it out. Okay. If we just listen to the audio, you know, once every week or something, it won't take 21 weeks for it to transform. It may take years for it to transform. But if this knowledge is put together in one 24-hour, we may go pop, pop, pop. We may experience a life-changing experience, you know, overnight. That's the idea. Okay. Okay, so if you
Okay,
can
thank
commit
you.
to
Thank you
to
so
that
much.
time, it'll be great. 9 p.m. in Vietnam, okay, and 6 a.m. in West Coast United States. So once again, 9 p.m. Vietnam, 6 a.m. United States. If you are gonna be, if anybody sign up to be Mentor 6, you know, let's see it. Prepare food, you know, prepare quick meal or something so we can eat, we can drink. And I would try to go for as long as I can until we need to take a break, and then we'll take a break. And I'm not building in any pre-planned break time. Okay, I want to see if how long we can hold each other's attention. If we fall asleep, then we fall asleep. Then if we fall asleep, we fall asleep with serenity, with magnanimity. Okay.
Yeah.
We already learned that we have been equipping ourselves with all the tools. Right, we've been equipping ourselves with all the tools. If we fall asleep, we take a break, and maybe a short break, but we break with high energy frequency, that we're gonna get a lot of rest in that short amount of break, and then and we go back to learning. And if we learn with high energy frequency, then our learning is gonna be very productive, as opposed to somebody who's really bored when they learn. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for your lesson
Okay.
today.
Right.
Mhm.
Great.
We'll
Great.
see you. Good night.
Okay. Great.
Thank you, Frank.
You
I
take care,
appreciate it.
okay? All righty. See you on Saturday.
Yes, I'll see you Saturday.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, and see you.